Hello, my dear students. In the last class, I have discussed the previous year's questions on the topic thermodynamics. In this class also, I am going to discuss the problems on the topic thermodynamics. The next problem is at 10 degree Celsius. At 10 degree Celsius, the value of the density of a fixed mass of an ideal gas. At 10 degrees Celsius, the value of density of a fixed mass of an ideal gas is divided by its pressure is X. At 110 degrees Celsius, the ratio is at 10 degrees Celsius means that is T1. Here T1 is equal to 10 degrees Celsius converted into Kelvin. 10 degree plus 273 is equal to 283 Kelvin, and T2 is equal to 110 degrees Celsius plus 273. This is 273 plus 100, 373 plus 10, 383 Kelvin. At 10 degrees Celsius, the value of the density of a fixed mass of an ideal gas divided by its pressure is X. At 110 degrees Celsius, we know from using ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to NR into T. For an ideal gas, N is equal to 1. But here in this problem, at 10 degrees Celsius, the value of density of a fixed mass of an ideal gas is divided by its pressure. To find the density means it is a mass per unit volume. To find the density, we want the value mass. Therefore, here this equation is divided by the mass. PV divided by M is equal to 1 divided by M naught. This is N value. N is equal to 1 divided by M naught R into T. Therefore, here the density for a fixed mass of an ideal gas is divided by its pressure. Density means mass per unit volume, but here volume divided by mass, that is 1 divided by rho. It is in the form of P divided by rho. P divided by rho is equal to RT divided by M naught. Therefore, rho divided by P is inversely proportional to 1 divided by T. From using this formula, the density is inversely proportional to its temperature. Therefore, from using this formula, rho 1 divided by P1 whole divided by rho 2 divided by P2, it is equal to T2 divided by T1. The density is inversely proportional to its temperature. Here, the rho 1 divided by P1, the value of density of a fixed mass of an ideal gas is divided by its pressure X. Therefore, this is taken as X. X divided by rho 2 divided by P2. X divided by rho 2 divided by P2 is equal to T2 value is, that is 383 Kelvin divided by 21 value is 283 Kelvin. Then rho 2 divided by P2 is equal to 283 divided by 383. 283 divided by 383 into X. Here at 110 degrees Celsius. At 10 degrees Celsius, it is rho 1 divided by P1. At 110 degrees Celsius, the value is 283 divided by 383 into X. The option A is the right answer. The next problem is in a thermodynamic process. In a thermodynamic process, which of the following statement is not true? The option A is in an adiabatic process. In an adiabatic process, PV gamma is equal to constant. Yes, this is the right answer. In this question, which of the following process is not true? We have to find which statement is wrong. The second statement is in an adiabatic process, the system is insulated from the surroundings. Yes, in the adiabatic process, there is no exchange of heat between system and its surroundings, because in case of adiabatic system it is insulated. Then the option C is in an isochoric process. In an isochoric process, pressure remain constant. No, this is wrong, because in an isochoric process, the volume remains constant. The option D is in an isothermal process, the temperature remains constant. Yes, it is also right. Here the following out of these four options, the option C is the wrong answer, which is not true. But in this problem, the correct answer is option C, because the isochoric process depends on its volume. The volume is kept constant in this process, but in the given statement, in an isochoric process, the pressure remains constant. This is wrong. The right answer is C. The next problem is the internal energy. The internal energy. The internal energy change in a system that has absorbed 2 kilocalorie of heat. This is Q. 2 kilocalorie of heat and done 500 joule of work, that is W. From the first law of thermodynamics, we know the formula. The amount of heat supplied to the system, that is dQ is equal to du plus dW. From using this problem, the internal energy change in the system, that is du is equal to the internal energy change in the system, heat minus work done. In this given problem, the amount of heat is 2 kilocalorie. The amount of heat is 2 kilocalorie of heat. Here the amount of heat is 2 kilocalorie and done and work done is 500 joule of work. Then Q is equal to 2 kilocalorie, 2 into 10 to the power of 3 minus work done is 500. The work done is 500. 2 kilocalorie, 2 into 10 to the power of 3. 10 to the power of 3 means it is nearly about 1000. 1000 into 2, 2000. 2000 minus 500. 2000 minus 500. The answer is 2000 minus 500. The answer is 1500 joule. The option is 1500 joule, but here the options are wrong. The exact answer is 1500 joule, because the internal energy change in a system that has absorbed 2 kilocalorie of heat and done 500 joule of work. dQ is equal to du plus dW. du is equal to uq minus w. Already these values are given in this problem. The amount of heat supplied to that system is 2 kilo, means 2 into 10 to the power of 3. 10 to the power of 3 means 1000. 1000 into 2, 2000. 2000 minus 500. We get this answer, 1500 joule. Next problem is, if delta U and delta W. If delta U and delta W represents the increase in internal energy and work done. Delta U means it is increase in internal energy and delta W means it is work done by the system. In a thermodynamical process, which of the following is true? In a thermodynamic process, which of the following is true? Here we know the formula, dQ is equal to du plus dW. But also we can write this equation, delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. If delta U and delta W represents the increase in internal energy and work done by the system respectively, in a thermodynamical process, which of the following is true? Here delta U is equal to minus delta W in an adiabatic process, option A. Option B is delta U. Option B is delta U is equal to delta W in a isothermal process. Option C is delta U is equal to delta W in a adiabatic process. Delta U is equal to minus delta W in a isothermal process. In an isothermal process, here there is no amount of heat supplied to the system. Then we get here dQ is equal to 0. 0 is equal to delta U plus delta W. Then delta U is equal to minus delta W. Delta U is equal to minus delta W in case of only adiabatic process. In case of only adiabatic process. Therefore, the option A is the right answer. The next problem, during an isothermal expansion. During an isothermal expansion, suppose if you consider the PV diagram. This is PV diagram. During an isothermal expansion, initially you have considered the 1 mole of an ideal gas or any ideal gas situated at this point. The ideal gas initially situated at this point due to isothermal expansion. Isothermal expansion means the pressure value is decreases, volume value is increases. Volume value is increases. This expansion is called isothermal expansion. Here, confined an ideal gas does 150 joule of work. This is 150 joule of work means this is work now against its surrounding. This implies that in this problem, in isothermal expansion, work done against the surroundings is negative, but work done by the gas is positive. Therefore, we write delta W is equal to plus 150 joule, but the internal energy du is equal to 0. From first law of thermodynamics, that is dq or delta q is equal to delta W plus du, the change in internal energy, but dq is equal to 150 joule. Therefore, delta q is equal to plus 150 joule. Heat is positive. It means heat absorbed by the gas. Heat is absorbed by the gas. 150 joule of heat has been added to the gas. 150 joule of heat has been removed from the gas. Option C is 300 joule of heat has been added to the gas. Option D is no heat is transferred because the process is isothermal. The option A is the right answer. 150 joule of heat has been added to the gas. The next problem is a mass of diatomic gas. Mass of diatomic gas gamma is equal to a mass of diatomic gas at a pressure of 2 atmosphere is compressed adiabatically, so its temperature rises from 27 degrees Celsius. This is T1. Its temperature rises from 27 degrees Celsius to 927 degrees Celsius. This is T2. The pressure of the gas in the final state is, now we have to find the pressure of the gas in the final state. In this problem, the mass of a diatomic gas, the gamma, that for diatomic gas, gamma is equal to 1 divided by 4. 1 divided by 4. Here, the pressure of the gas in the final state. We know the formula. The pressure is directly proportional to temperature into gamma divided by gamma minus 1. Or the final pressure P2 divided by P1 is equal to T2 divided by T1 whole to the power of gamma divided by gamma minus 1. Here P2 is equal to P1 into T2 divided by T1 gamma divided by gamma minus 1. Substitute the values here. P2 is equal to P1 is 2 atmosphere, 2 divided by temperature T2 927 degrees Celsius. 927 plus 273, we get 1200 divided by T1 is 27 plus 273, that is 300. We get 1.4. For diatomic gas molecule, gamma is 1.4 and 1.4 minus 1. When you are solving this problem, we get P2 is equal to 2 into 12 divided by 3, that is 4. 4 whole to the power of 1.4 divided by 1.4 minus 1, that is 0.4. Then 2 into 4, 1.4 divided by 0.4. When you are calculating, you get the answer. P2 is equal to 256 atmospheric pressure. P2 is equal to 256. Here solve this problem and try to get this answer, the 256 atm. The option D is the right answer. And the next problem is a thermodynamic system. A thermodynamic system is taken through the cycle. The thermodynamic system is taken through the cycle from point A to B, B to C, C to D and D to A. A thermodynamic system is taken through the cycle A, B, C, D and D to A is shown in this figure. Heat rejected by the gas during the cycle is. Heat rejected by the gas during the cycle is. For isothermal expansion, the PV curve is rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola. Or here, for the given cyclic process, in this given cyclic process, the change in internal energy delta U is equal to 0. The change in internal energy delta U is equal to 0. From the first law of thermodynamics, Q is equal to W. Q is equal to W, or Q is equal to delta U plus W. Also here W is equal to, W means work done. Work done is equal to minus area enclosed by the curve. W is equal to, the work done is calculated from using this graph, that is work done is equal to minus area under the graph, minus area under the graph. Therefore W is equal to area under the graph is minus P into 2P, minus P into 2P, because this is 2P minus P. 2P minus P is, that is minus P, into the volume is 3V minus V, that is 2V. Therefore the heat rejected is, the heat rejected is 2P into V. The heat rejected is 2P into V. Option C is the right answer. The next problem, liquid oxygen at 50 Kelvin. Liquid oxygen at 50 Kelvin. Here 50 Kelvin, converted it into, or it is already, it is in Kelvin. No, need not worry about this because it is already, it is in Kelvin. You cannot convert it into degree Celsius. Liquid oxygen at 50 Kelvin is heated to 300 Kelvin, means this is temperature T1. The temperature T1, it has initial temperature. Oxygen initial temperature is 50 Kelvin. When we supply a certain amount of heat to that oxygen, it is increases to 300 Kelvin, that is T2, at constant pressure of 1 atm. The rate of heating is constant. Which one of the following graph represents the variation of temperature with time? Here, at first temperature will increase, then there will be state change from liquid to a gas. There will be state change from liquid to a gas. Which one of the following graphs represents the variation of temperature of the time? The option D is the right answer, because at first temperature will be increase and then there will be a state change from liquid to the gas. Option D is the right answer. The next problem is, an ideal gas goes from state A to B. When an ideal gas goes from state A to B, here the ideal gas goes from state A to B. When the ideal gas goes from state A to B, we have three different paths from point A to B. Here this is the path 2, and this is the path 1, and this is the path 3. 1, 2, 3. An ideal gas goes from state A to B. We have three different processes as indicated on the PV diagram. If Q1, Q2 and Q3 indicate the heat absorbed by the gas, heat absorbed by this gas is Q1, and heat absorbed by this path is Q2, and this path is Q3, indicate the heat absorbed by the gas along the three processes. And delta U1, delta U2, delta U3 indicate the change in internal energy along the three processes. The change in internal energy along this path is, that is delta U1, along this path is, that is delta U2, along this path is, that is delta U3. Indicate the change in internal energy along the three processes respectively. Three processes respectively. We know the formula. The change in internal energy, that is dU1 is equal to, the internal energy is same, dU1 is equal to dU2 is equal to, and dU3. dU1 is equal to dU2 is equal to dU3. Here Q1 is greater than Q2 is greater than Q3, because delta Q is equal to delta W into du, the change in internal energy. Here the change in internal energy is independent from the path. The change in internal energy is independent from the path. That's why we write U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U3. The work depends on the path. Delta U1 is equal to delta U2 is equal to delta U3. Their work depends on the path. Delta U1 is equal to delta U2 is equal to delta U3. Q1 is greater than Q2 is greater than Q3. Option D is the right answer. And the next problem is the molar specific heats. The molar specific heats of an ideal gas. The molar specific heats of an ideal gas at a constant pressure and volume are denoted by Cp and Cv respectively. If gamma is Cp divided by Cv and R is the universal gas constant, then Cv is equal to, from Mayer's equation we know the formula, Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Cp minus Cv is equal to R. The molar specific heats of an ideal gas at constant pressure and constant volume are denoted by Cp and Cv. If gamma is the Cp and Cv, R is the universal gas constant, then Cv is equal to, this is the Mayer's equation, Cp minus Cv is equal to R. When we are dividing this equation by Cv, we get Cp divided by Cv minus Cv divided by Cv is equal to R divided by Cv. Then we get Cp divided by Cv is equal to gamma. Gamma minus 1 is equal to R divided by Cv. Therefore, Cv is equal to R divided by gamma minus 1. The specific heat capacity at a constant volume, Cv is equal to R divided by gamma minus 1. The option B is the right answer. And the next problem is, a gas is taken through a cycle. A gas is taken through a cycle. Here, a gas is taken through a cycle from point A to B, B to C, and C to A. When a gas is taken through a cycle from A to B, B to C, C to A, as shown in this diagram, what is the net work done by the gas? Net work done. Here, work done is calculated. We know the formula, that is work done. Work done is equal to area under the graph, or work done is equal to area under PV curve. Area under PV curve. The area under this PV curve is equal to, it is in the form of triangle. We know the formula, that is 1 by 2 into base. Base is base into height, 1 by 2 base into height. The height is, here it is 6 minus 2. The height 6 minus 2 is, that is 4. Here 4 into 10 to the power of 5. It is in the order of 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. 4 into 10 to the power of 5 into base into height. Then the base, here this is 7. 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 into, it is in the order of 10 to the power of minus 3. 5 into 10 to the power of minus 3. We get 1 by 2 into 4, that is 2. 2 into 10 to the power of 5 into 5 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Then 5 into 2 is 10. 10 into 10 to the power of 5 minus 3. 10 to the power of 5 minus 3 is the 10 to the power of 2. 10 to the power of 2 is 100. 100 into 10 is 1000. W is equal to 1000 joule. The option B is the right answer. The work done, or the net work done by the graph when a gas is taken through a cycle of A to B, B to C, C to A. From this diagram, the final work done, or the net work done by the gas is 1000 joule. The next problem is, during an adiabatic process, the pressure of a gas is found to be proportional to the cube of its temperature. The ratio of Cp divided by Cv during an adiabatic process. In case of adiabatic process, we know the formula. The pressure is directly proportional to its temperature. The volume is kept constant. P is directly proportional to temperature, gamma divided by gamma minus 1. And during this process, the pressure of gas is found to be proportional to the cube of its temperature. Here, the pressure is proportional to cube of its temperature. Therefore, gamma divided by gamma minus 1 is equal to 3. Gamma divided by gamma minus 1 is equal to 3. Therefore, gamma is equal to 3 gamma minus 3, or minus 2 gamma is equal to minus 3. Then gamma is equal to 3 divided by 2. The ratio of specific heat capacity at constant pressure to the constant volume is 3 by 2. The option D is the right answer. The next problem is in the given VT diagram. VT diagram means VT diagram means the volume and temperature diagram. What is the relation between the pressures P1 and P2 in this diagram? Pressures P1 and P2 in this diagram. We know the ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to NR into T. From using this ideal gas equation, we know the formula. P by T is proportional to 1 by P. P by T is equal to proportional to 1 by 2. From this graph here, this is P by T is equal to tan theta. This is the theta 1 and theta 2. P by 2 is equal to tan theta. P by T is proportional to 1 by T. Therefore, 1 by P is equal to tan theta. 1 by P is equal to tan theta. Then 1 by P is proportional to tan theta. If the theta value is increases, the pressure value is decreases. The theta value is increases, the pressure value is decreases. If the theta value is increases, pressure value decreases, means here the P1 and P2. The P1 and P2, and the theta value is increases. Here the theta value is very small. Here the theta value is very large. If the theta value is increases, the pressure value is decreases. Therefore, the P1 is greater than P2. The P1 is greater than P2. Therefore, P1 is greater than P2. The option, this is the P1 is greater than P2 or P2 is less than P1. Both are the same. The amount of heat energy required to rise the temperature of 1 gram of helium at NTP means normal temperature and pressure from T1 Kelvin to T2 Kelvin. We know the energy formula or the law of equipartition energy theorem, that is E is equal to F by 2 NR into T, or this is F by 2 is equal to NK into T. Here the capital N is equal to, it is the product of N into Avogadro number. Therefore, from using this formula, it is equal to, here N is the amount of heat energy required to rise the temperature of 1 gram of helium. 1 gram of helium, it is 3 by 2 into N into, here Na into the Boltzmann constant is Kb into T. Therefore, for that helium atom, that is 3 divided by 2 into 4, 8. 3 by 8 Na into Kb into T. 3 by 8 Na into Kb into T into T2 minus T1, which is the correct answer. Where this problem is based on the law of equipartition energy theorem, the option A is the right answer. Here the option A is the right answer, but here we have to find the small n. Small n is equal to small m divided by capital M. Here the number of moles is equal to molecular mass divided by molecular weight, that is 1 divided by 4. 1 by 4, and you are multiplying 1 by 4, you get 4 into 2 is 8, that is 3 by 8. Na, it is Avogadro number, Boltzmann constant, and the temperature, that is T2 minus T1. We get the option A is the right answer. And the next problem is a monoatomic gas. A monoatomic gas at a pressure P. A monoatomic gas at a pressure P having a volume V. Suppose if you consider this is the monoatomic gas. This is monoatomic gas. For this monoatomic gas, it has a certain pressure P and volume V, and expands isothermally to a volume. Expands isothermal to a volume 2V, and then adiabatically through a volume 16V, the final pressure of the gas. In an isothermal process, we know the formula P1 V1 is equal to P2 into P2, and therefore P2 is equal to P1 into V divided by 2V, because the volume changes from V to V. Here The V get cancelled, we get P2 is equal to P1 divided by 2. For the adiabatic process, this is for isothermal process and this is for adiabatic process. In the adiabatic process, P2 gamma is equal to P3 gamma. And from using this formula, we get P3 is equal to P2 into P2 divided by P3. P2 divided by P3. Here P3 is equal to P2 into P2 divided by P3 into gamma. Now substitute the values here. That is P3 is equal to P2 is equal to, that is P1 divided by 2. Here we get P2 is equal to P1 by 2 into P2 is, that is 2V divided by P3 is, that is 10V, that is 10V. Here 2V divided by 10V whole to the 4 of gamma is, that is 5 by 3. The already this value of the gamma value is given in this problem. Therefore the P3 is equal to P by 2. Then here P we get cancelled. 2 by 10 is 5, or it is in the form of 1 divided by 2 to the 4 of 3. 1 divided by 2 to the 4 of 3 whole to the 4 of 5 divided by 3. This 3 and 3 get cancelled. Therefore P3 is equal to P divided by 2 and 1 divided by 2 to the power of 5. 1 divided by 2 to the power of 5. Here it is 1 divided by 2 to the power of 5. That is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 2 into 2 4. 4 into 2 8. 8 into 2 16. 16 into 2 32. 1 by 32. We get P divided by 2 into 1 divided by 32. 1 by 32 into P divided by 2. 2 into 32, that is 64. We get the answer P divided by 64. P divided by 64. The option C is the right answer. And the next problem is a thermodynamic system. A thermodynamic system undergoes a cyclic process. Thermodynamic system undergoes a cyclic process from A to B. This is from A to B and from B to C, and then from C to D, and then from D to A. This is a thermodynamic system undergoes a cyclic process A to B, B to C, C to D and D to A as shown in this figure. The work done by the system in the cycle is, the work done by the system in the cycle is, that is the net work done by the cycle. The net work done by the cycle, that is A1 minus A2. A1 minus A2. Here there are two areas are there. From A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A. The net work done in this problem here, this is the negative work done. This is for A1, and here the work done is, that is positive work done. This is A2. When you are applying the mod condition, therefore A1 mod of A1 is equal to mod of A2. Therefore A1 minus A2 is equal to 0. The net work done by the system is always 0. A Carnot engine having an efficiency of eta is equal to, a Carnot engine having an efficiency of eta is equal to 1 divided by 10 as a heat engine is used as a refrigerator. Here in case of refrigerator, it is the reverse process of heat engine. If the work done on the system is 10 joule, the amount of energy absorbed from the reservoir at lower temperature is, here the efficiency of the Carnot engine, that is 1 by 10 times. We know the formula, efficiency is equal to W1 divided by Q1. Here this Q1 is equal to W divided by efficiency. The work done is, that is 10 joule divided by eta is 1 by 10. Therefore that, or here eta is equal to 1 by 10, W is equal to 10 joule. From using this formula, Q1 is equal to, here Q1, W divided by eta, 10 divided by 1 by 10, 10 into 10, 100, that is Q1 is equal to 100 joule. Then the work done W is equal to Q1 minus Q2 from higher temperature to lower temperature. Then using Q2 is equal to Q1 minus W. If the work done on the system is 10 joule, the amount of energy absorbed from the reservoir, that is Q2. Q2 is equal to Q1 minus W. Q1 is 100. 100 minus 10, that is 90. The SI unit of heat is joule. The option C is the right answer. The next problem is 1 mole of an ideal gas. 1 mole of an ideal gas or 1 mole of an ideal diatomic gas undergoes a transition from A to B. When 1 mole of ideal diatomic gas undergoes a transition from A to B, here from this point to this point, A to B, along the path AB as shown in the figure, the change in internal energy of the gas during the transition, here the change in internal energy, that is du, the change in internal energy du is equal to mu into specific heat capacity at constant volume with the temperature, that is dt. Then the change in internal energy du is equal to mu into Cv from point A to B. From point A to B, that is here at this point the temperature is Tb, at this point this temperature is Ta. Cv into the temperature at the point B minus the temperature at the point A. Therefore the du is equal to mu into Cv. Mu into Cv. From the ideal gas equation, T is equal to Pb into Vb divided by mu into R minus Pa into Va divided by mu into R, because here T is equal to Pv divided by mu into R. Here we get this equation, Pv is equal to nRT or T is equal to Pv divided by mu into R for specific heat capacity at a constant volume. Therefore the du is equal to Cv divided by R into Cv divided by R. It is a constant. Take outside this value, we get Cv divided by R into Pb into Vb minus Pa into Va. The specific heat capacity at constant volume for diatomic gas molecules, it is in the form of 5 by 2R whole divided by R, and here this value is same here also. Now substitute the values in this problem, that is pi by 2, R and R get cancelled, Pb and Vb. Pb, pressure at point B, that is 2 into V at B, that is 6 minus Pa, pressure at point A, that is 5 into volume at point A. Volume at point A is 4. Volume at point A is 4 into 10 to the power of 3 meter cube, the SI unit of volume. Now we get the pi by 2. Pi by 2 into 12 minus 20 into 10 to the power of 3. Therefore here pi by 2 into 12 minus 20. 12 minus 20, that is minus 8 into 10 to the power of 3. Pi by 2 is 2.5. 2.5 into minus 8. 2.5 into minus 8, we get minus 20 kilojoule. 10 to the power of 3 means kilo, minus 8 into pi by 2 is, it is 2.5. 2.5 into minus 8 is minus 20 kilojoule. The option B is the right answer. The next problem is the ratio of specific heats. The ratio of specific heats Cp divided by Cv. The ratio of specific heat Cp by Cv is equal to gamma. The ratio of specific heat Cp by Cv equal to gamma in terms of degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom means the number of independent ways system can acquire the energy. That is gamma is equal to 1 plus 2 divided by F. Gamma is equal to 1 plus 2 divided by F. Here in this problem we get 1 plus 2 divided by n, number of independent ways of system can acquire the energy. Option C is the right answer. And the next problem is 4 gram of gas. 4 gram of a gas occupies, here this is the mass, capital M. 4 gram of a gas occupies 22.4 liters. This is the volume, 22.4 liters at NTP. NTP means normal temperature and pressure. The specific heat capacity of the gas at a constant volume is 5 joule per Kelvin. This is specific heat capacity at constant volume CV. If the speed of the sound in the gas is normal temperature and pressure 952 meter per second, that is the speed of the sound or velocity of the sound, then heat capacity at constant pressure. Heat capacity at constant pressure. In this problem, the given values are capital M is equal to this is 4 gram. Then the volume P is equal to 22.4 liters. 22.4 liters. Specific heat capacity at constant volume Cv is equal to 5 joule per mole Kelvin. 5 joule per mole Kelvin. Then the speed of the sound. That is P sound is equal to, the speed of the sound is 952 meter per second. Then the heat capacity at constant pressure Cp is. Now I am going to calculate the specific heat capacity at constant pressure. We know the formula. Velocity of sound, P sound is equal to root of gamma into PV divided by M. Here gamma is equal to M divided by PV into P square into sound, or P sound whole square. This is equal to Cp divided by Cv. Therefore Cp is equal to Cv into M divided by PV into P sound whole square, velocity of the sound whole square. Now substitute the values here. The specific heat comes at a constant volume is 5. That is 5. Then M, that is 4 gram, converted into kg. We get the answer, that is 4 into 10 to the power of minus 3. 4 into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by the pressure. It is in the order of 10 to the power of minus 5 into volume is 22.4. 22.4 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Then the velocity of that sound is 952 whole square. 952 whole square. We get 20 divided by 22.4. 20 divided by 22.4 into 952 whole square into 10 to the power of minus 5. When you are calculating this value here, due to shortage of the space, directly I write the answer here. When you calculate this value, try to solve yourself. Finally you get the answer 8.09 joule per moles Kelvin. Joules per mole Kelvin, 8.09 joules per moles Kelvin. The option B is the right answer. The molecules of a gas or the molecules of a given mass. The molecules of a given mass of a gas have RMS velocity of 200 meter per second. RMS velocity means root mean square. 200 meter per second at 27 degrees Celsius. And 1 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square pressure. When the temperature and pressure of the gas are respectively 127 degrees Celsius and 0.05 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square, the RMS velocity of its molecules in meter per second. Here we know the formula Vrms root mean square velocity is directly proportional to its root of temperature. Therefore, V2 divided by V1 is equal to a root of T2 divided by T1. In this problem, the T2 is 127 degrees Celsius, 127 plus 273, that is 400, divided by another temperature 27, 27 plus 273, that is 300. We get the answer. It is in the form of 2 divided by root 3. Therefore, V2 is equal to 2 times of its volume, that is 2V1 divided by root 3. 2 by root 3 into V1, then 2 into V1 is 200 velocity, then divided by root of 3. 200 into 2 is, that is 400. 400 divided by root of 3 meter per second. The velocity of, or the RMS velocity of its molecule in meter per second, that is 400 divided by root 3 meter per second. The option A is the next problem is 1 mole of an ideal gas. 1 mole of an ideal monatomic gas undergoes a process described by the equation PV, this is described by the equation P to the power of 3 equal to constant, the heat capacity of the gas during the process. In this problem, PV3 is equal to constant. Here N is equal to 3. Specific heat capacity in polytropic process, that is PV equal to the power of N is equal to K. But the heat capacity during this process, that is C is equal to Cv plus R divided by 1 minus N. This is the standard formula. But here in this formula for monoatomic gas, this is 3 by 2R plus R divided by 1 minus 3. For monoatomic gas, Cv is equal to 3 divided by 2R plus R divided by 1 minus 3, N equal to 3 here. Then we get 3 divided by 2R minus R divided by 2, that is 3 by 2 R minus R by 2. We get the answer, or the option D is the right answer. The next problem is a given sample of an ideal gas. A given sample of an ideal gas occupies a volume V at a pressure P and absolute temperature T. The mass of each molecule of gas is m. Which of the following gives the density of the gas? We know the ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to nRT. Then here N divided by V is equal to P divided by RT, P divided by RT. Then N divided by V is equal to P divided by, here RT is, that is K is equal to R divided by NA. R is equal to K into NA. Here K into NA into T. Therefore, N into NA divided by V is equal to P divided by KT. Then from using this formula, it is equivalent to M into N. M into N into Avogadro number divided by V is equal to M into P divided by K into T. The mass per unit volume, that is density. Density is equal to M into P divided by K into T. Which of the following gives the density of the gas? Means here density rho is equal to M into P divided by K into T. Here M into P divided by K into T. Rho is equal to MP divided by KT. The option B is the right answer. The next problem is thermodynamic process. In the thermodynamic processes are indicated in the following diagram. Indicated in the following diagram. Match the following column 1 and column 2. Process 1. The process 1. This is the process 1. And P, process 1. Q, that is process 2. This is process 2. R, that is process 3. S, that is process 4. Here in this diagram, P, Q, R, S are the 4 processes. Here the first law of thermodynamics, or the applications of first law of thermodynamics, there are totally 4 applications. Or any one thermodynamic system is occurs in the form of isothermal, adiabatic, isochoric and isobaric. Here the process 1 is the process 1. Here this is the process 1. In this process 1, this is the process 1. It is isochoric process, because isochoric means isochoric. In this problem, the pressure is kept constant. It is isochoric process. In the process 2, it is adiabatic process. There is no exchange of heat between system and its surroundings. In the process 3, means if the pressure is decreases, volume is increases. That is isothermal. The temperature is kept constant. In the process 4, that is isobaric. Therefore, the P is equal to C and Q equal to A. The option C is the right answer. The next problem is a gas mixture consists of 2 moles of oxygen and 4 moles of argon. A gas mixture consists of 2 moles of oxygen and 4 moles of argon at temperature T. Neglecting all vibrational modes, the total internal energy of the system, the oxygen plus argon, it has a 2 mole and it has a 4 mole at a certain temperature. Neglecting all vibrational modes, the total internal energy, that is internal energy for oxygen, is equal to mu Cv into T. Therefore, for oxygen, 2 into Cv for the diatomic gas molecule, that is pi by 2 into R into T, we get it is 5R into T. And for argon, internal energy for argon, here for the argon it has 4 moles. Therefore, 4 into, it is the monoatomic gas molecule. For monoatomic gas molecule, Cv is 3 by 2 R into T. It is equal to 6R into T. 4 into 2, 8. 8 into 3, 12. 12 divided by 2, that is 6. 6R into T. Then U mixture, the internal energy of that system is internal energy for oxygen and internal energy for argon is equal to 5RT plus 6RT. It is equal to 11R into T. Option A is the right answer. And the next problem is a Carnot engine having an efficiency. Of 1 by 10, the efficiency of the engine, that is it as a heat engine, is used as a refrigerator. If the work done on the system, the amount of energy absorbed from the reservoir at lower temperature, here the eta is equal to, it is 1 by 10, it is in the form of W divided by Q1. Here Q1 is equal to W divided by eta, that is 10 joule divided by 1 by 10. This is also 100 joule. Therefore, Q2 is equal to 100 minus 10, that is 90 joule. Option C is the right answer. Thank you.